Hey everybody, welcome back to X's for Show. I'm Nico, and you guys can check me out at Nico Action, NicoAction.
And I'm in a new corner. I'm TK. You can find me at TK Elemental.
And that makes me your producer, Kevo. You can find me at Kevo Really, and we're doing some interesting stuff this week.
It's game stream time! We have done one other game stream. We did a little bit of Splatoon way back in the day, and I had a super good time doing that because I love competitive shooters. And we've been talking about it for a while. We talked about the beta when the beta came out. I've been super stoked about Marvel Rivals. 50% because I'm just bitter at Overwatch and wanted it to be done with, and 50% because I love Marvel stuff and I wanted to play Marvel Overwatch. And let's all be real, you're lying if you think that's not what this is. But also, Black Widow is not Widowmaker, so they're totally different games. Anyway, we're gonna chill tonight. I'm gonna play some Rivals. We're gonna talk about life, the game, the week that we have had, everything that's going on, and just kind of a nice way to spend a Saturday night. Is it Saturday?
Yeah, I keep forgetting too. This month
it's probably
has been crazy.
Saturday.
It's just been so weird because of Thanksgiving coming so late. So yeah, no, it's Saturday.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Well, that's what we're doing for this Saturday night, and I'm frankly quite excited and very grateful to you guys for joining me.
Stoked, super stoked. Really been amped to start getting on our gaming.
Yeah, very excited. I think it's really interesting that one of the things that when I feel like Marvel has had so much trouble getting gaming going, in part because the lead time on a game is so exponential that I can't even figure out for the life of me how Jeff is here. I do understand.
Go.
No, you.
So that's what's really wild. One of the big things with this game is like, for one thing, how gorgeous is Max here? But then when you go to the lore, it's all about Krakoa.
Wow.
And even like right here, this is Max Eisenhart in the Krakoan alphabet.
That's great.
Yeah. But I sort of get the impression that if this game, developed in a reasonable time frame, we would not be doing Krakoa. Again, like Storm's got it too, and then a lot of her voice lines are about Krakoa. What's really also quite funny is where's my girl? This is Demon Days Psylocke.
Oh.
So they're pulling from the entire multiverse with this game, and that is kind of the point. Like that, that is the point of the game. It's Doom 2099 and regular Doom both did a thing, and now the multiverse is broken and everybody's hanging out together. But so this is Psy. This is Demon Days Psylocke, but she speaks with a British accent. And so I sort of think for a while this was Betsy and Conan's body, and they even got to the point of like hiring the voice actor, and then somebody was like, you guys can't do that. We got rid of that and it's really offensive, so you can't do it. And this is what they went with rather than switching it over to Conan.
Wow.
Which in and of itself is a monster conversation.
Yes. But, the lore is really interesting. You're Nico, you nailed it. The lead time for these things is prodigious. And I'm curious to know how it affected certain, like the Krakoa thing feels really real. And I'm curious how that will change going forward. And if and when they will start introducing characters that are not Krakoa adjacent, like if Jean Grey will just be like Jean Grey from, the Claremont era, or how exactly they'll address certain things like that. But in the meantime, I do really love that all the mutants we have are very Krakoan mutants. It feels like a nice return to form.
So now, what are you doing in the game?
I mean, I have just been, and I'm going to start up right now. I've just been doing quick play. Competitive has not started yet. They have a mode called Conquest, which is just kind of team deathmatch, like eliminate as many people as you can. I don't love to play that, so I am support maining, and yeah, I'm gonna get into it right this second, I think.
Purples.
I have been quite loving Cloak and Dagger.
Nice.
Yeah. They are pretty fantastic. The unfortunate thing is they don't have like great actors or great voice actors. Or I'm sure the voice actors are great, but they're not doing anything remarkable with either of the characters, and they also don't have great voice lines either. It's very standard, like I love Ty and he loves me, and it's just kind of that, like,
we're as happy as we can be.
Squirrel Girl is Milana Vaintrub, who was supposed to play Squirrel Girl in the New Warriors TV show, and then later did play Squirrel Girl in the Squirrel Girl podcast. So that was like some really good stunt casting. There's some other really great ones in the mix, but Cloak and Dagger didn't they got the short end of the stick.
It's amazing how hard Marvel works to make that team up work, even though it is never going to work.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to focus on this a little bit, but I am still listening and engaging. So please talk amongst yourselves. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what you're thinking about, or ask me questions about this.
I have terrible ADD, so I literally can't split my focus and watch a gameplay and talk about something else. So please tell me about this.
So the big thing is, as Dagger, you are throwing healing daggers that heal your people and damage your enemies, and then Cloak is just pure damage, but there's kind of an expectation that you're going to be healing your team, and especially like when we're this early in the game, and people are still pretty new to it, including myself. Like, I am not a great player of this game, but you actually do really have to spend a long time keeping people alive. So strategically, I would love to be using Cloak a lot more, and I will switch over to him in a second. But I'm basically, me and my healing partner, Jeff, here are basically just 100% support at this time.
And
So what are you
now,
playing on?
What's that?
So what are you playing on? Because I know it's on a couple consoles, right?
I'm playing on a PC, actually. But yeah, this is on both Xbox and PlayStation as well.
Andrew says she looks like a Dungeon Quest character, and Break Yourself says at least they gave them manga bods. Shakira over here. Yeah, Dagger's hips pretty much never lie. And thanks for joining us.
So now you said this is quick play mode?
Yeah, this is just like casual. This is just casual matches. This is not competitive. Competitive actually hasn't even started yet, which is smart and great, giving everybody a little bit of time to kind of get into things a little bit. This match is not my finest hour.
Well, it's new. You're working on it. So, I obviously am the most novice of video games among our entire pack. you're playing with other people?
Yeah. This is no computer players or anything. This is all other idiots like myself.
And so Cloak and Dagger, you play together, like as a pair.
Yeah, like now I've switched to Cloak.
Oh, that's
and now I'm
interesting.
back to Dagger.
So you flip. All right, yeah, that makes sense.
Which is, it's the tough thing because they have completely different abilities. They have completely different powers. Cloak is entirely damage and doesn't heal at all. And interestingly, Dagger does some really solid damage. She is a very good fighter, but you definitely offensively get more out of Cloak. So it's really like figuring out the strategy of when you're going to play as each character is really a big part of the fun of the two of them.
Are there other pairs or anything like that in the game?
Say again?
Are there other pairs like that or anything in the game? Like characters
at
where you
this
flip?
time, no. I suspect as time goes on, there will be.
Yeah.
So for all that was the first time I died. I could be doing worse.
Break Yourself says the objective, that middle space.
Yes. So Break Yourself. The objective is to hold what is called the mission area for as long as possible, which the other team already got to 99% and we broke in at the last minute. We're about to hit that as well. And then it will just be about who runs out the clock and gets there.
Nice.
So how does this compare to Overwatch for you?
In what capacity?
Any capacity.
I mean, I used to love Overwatch. Overwatch really was one of my favorite games for a very long time. And this game is still very new. It's got a lot of kinks to work out in terms of like balancing and professionalism. It's gonna take a while to reach what Overwatch did, but Overwatch really let its players down a lot. And I think Marvel coming in at this time sort of means they get to learn from all of the lessons Overwatch had. Oh, hey, we won that one. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, one of the big things is Overwatch is a first-person shooter, and this is a third-person shooter. So in this game, you can see your own character, as well as all of the other ones. And even that perspective shift is, not something to sneeze at. It's kind of it makes gameplay very different. And, I mean, the interesting thing is Overwatch borrowed a lot from Marvel. Marvel is borrowing a lot from Overwatch's gameplay for its characters. And of course, the game nobody talks about that is my favorite, Paladins. When Overwatch was developing, Paladins was developing at the same time and had very similar gameplay, and they both really stole from each other a lot. So, there's nothing new underneath the sun. We're all just kind of doing variations of the same thing. At the end of the day, I really think this could be better than Overwatch and could have like kind of a longer successful legacy. But NetEase also just canceled my favorite game that they ever did, which was a mobile game called Super War. So I don't know, this might be one of those things where Marvel just pulls out when they decide that it's not doing enough for them.
Do you think it can outshine Overwatch like on its own merit, or is it because of the Marvel property?
That's a really interesting question. I mean, I do kind of think that it can, and I sort of think it will because it has such interesting gameplay. But I do think that the reason why it's going to take such a boost that another great game of its type would not be able to get is because it's a Marvel game, and that name just has, such cachet with people.
Yeah, even still.
Yeah.
Hello, Soul Sword X. Thanks for joining us. Oh, it's Jonah.
We love
I was
you.
gonna say it's probably Jonah. That's Magic's magical weapon. So
Nice.
all right, so and I break yourself. I love the idea that first weekend numbers would be indicative of a real game, but like when it comes to IPs, the reason that Hasbro feels confident no longer making movies is because they make about a third of their money off of Monopoly Go. And the current Monopoly Go campaign is Marvel superheroes. So, it winds up being kind of a weird mixed bag because something like this costs 3 times, 4 times what something that doesn't have this going for it costs, while not in terms of character development and original ideas, IPs. Because if you're not of this, people pay they pay you nothing. But when it comes to a Marvel thing, it costs 5-6 times as much because 10 lawyers have to approve every pixel. So you wind up in a situation where like the over under is so much greater. It's going to sound like I'm being funny, but I don't know how many of you are aware of this. There's a really famous character, Reba. She's played by Kenan Thompson. And she has a new sitcom, and the new sitcom is her old sitcom, but at a bar this time. But they can only do it at a bar this time because the character with alcoholism isn't on it anymore. Anyway, she's too busy being married to a Yankee. So, the bigger picture here that I'm getting at is the over under on Reba having a sitcom it's incredible. NBC makes it because they produce The Voice, which she is on, right. And she is, for all intents and purposes, the country woman that liberal yahoos like me will cover their eyes and just be like, nope, she probably doesn't have any unsavory connections. No. And the over-under on producing a show for Reba is phenomenal. As long as it hits this precipice, it's making bank forever. But if it doesn't, it's forever falling short. And I sort of think that's what games like this are always falling victim to. I think what I'm trying to say is Reba should be a playable character in Marvel Rivals.
If only she wasn't on NBC. Reba absolutely should be a playable character on Marvel Rivals. You know what? We could get there. As I keep saying, Dr. Meredith Grey should be a playable character in Marvel. Dr. Meredith Grey should be a character in the Marvel universe, and then should be a playable character in Marvel Rivals.
And break yourself. I totally get that you prefer your country girls with a little unsavory connection. As a homosexual, those unsavory connections leave me in danger. So,
often, not always, too much.
Oh, those are the unsavory connections I was referring to. I meant like no to those connections that are like, oh no, but I'd cut a gay person. Like, those country connections. And I say that with love, knowing that there are sections where I would not drive through. Being conservative, there are areas that I'm sure that the gay liberals would just come for you with all of their friendliness and all that delicious fluoride in the water.
Oh, not friendliness and fluoride.
That fluoride is no joke.
You know what? If it was a joke, it wouldn't be in toothpaste. I've never opened a tube of toothpaste, and it's like contains laughter. So, that's really where I'm at.
Well, now I feel like we have to start marketing laughter toothpaste.
So what's going on where you're at? Who are these people?
I've never heard really committed to trying to play some Cloak, even though it just is not necessary right now. Just because I like to kill people. Doing well with Cloak really makes you feel like a god. Doing poorly with Cloak really makes you feel like an idiot. And I also just had a building collapse on me, which, isn't my fave.
No.
Same thing, Dagger, when you're really like healing your team, it just feels great. And when you are just absolutely fucking up, it's not fun at all, which is kind of the point of all games.
And that's even part of where I have some difficulty. So I've already booted up my copy, and I've been playing Rivals, and it's been exciting. It's been part of my day, getting a little more used to playing. I think as a guy who it's interesting because I'm a guy who prefers turn-based games.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm a musician, and so like I think turn-based art is novels and paintings. I think melee art is theater and music and improv. And as somebody who is more than anything a live musician, I kind of can't figure out why it is that I can't make myself MMORGP like I care. I MMORGP like I connect with the idea. And just for the record, yes, Civ, Break Yourself, absolutely one of my favorite games of all time. I lost hundreds of hours one summer playing that with a Southern gentleman in particular who he's not actually Southern, he's Midwestern, but liked to pretend that he was basically Blanche Dubois. He and I played Civ 4 and a lot of Guitar Hero. I remember him getting particularly annoyed with how I sang Flyleafs I'm So Sick. Actually, no, the upstairs neighbor got really annoyed at how I sang Flyleafs I'm So Sick and stomped on the floor one time to get me to stop. So I just did the entire No Doubt EP. Rock Band was a really good time for me. I had the power to get revenge with people sonically. All right, well, nobody's here to watch me. They're here to watch this. So tell me what's going on.
We are coming down to the wire here. We're at 99% holding this territory, and if we get this one, we have won the match. But the other team is coming for us quite hard. This is one of those times where I really want to switch to Cloak, but I don't really think the team needs that. I think the team needs me to heal them. And in fact, that does seem to be the case because we are about to win. And that's one match of Rivals. We won 2 of the maps. We lost 1 map. And then, of course, the question always becomes, how did I actually do? Oh, so our Jeff is the MVP of the game. Love that boy. And he probably did fantastic. My little ritual. So for one thing, we got to go upvote everybody because everybody did great. And then I always like to check my stats. Yeah, I did not do great compared to the other healers this game. The other Cloak and Dagger on the other team healed nearly twice as much as I did. Jeff, like almost 50% more. So this is not my best game. And I like to just look at those numbers and kind of strategize for how I'll do better next time. But we won this one, so I'm happy.
Hooray.
And that's a full match of Rivals, everybody.
So you're randomly put into a match with strangers and you'll just match with
that's a quick play. And you can make a team and do quick play. Like, so if the three of us all had Rivals at the same time, we could do a little quick 3-person team, and then they would match us with 3 other people. Break Yourself. I hope they do a dolphin skin for Jeff too. They do have, hold on. I'm going to go look at it because it's really cute and I want it. But yeah, the 3 of us could be a team and then do a quick match together, and it would fill in the other spots that we don't have. This is Jeff's starting skin for the game, and I desperately need it.
No,
he just could not be cuter.
Would you want to explain a little bit about the different forms of in-game currency? Because there's 3 different forms of in-game currency, right?
Yes. I don't really want to explain about them. I'll try my best, but so there is okay, what do they call them? So there's Lattice, which is just dollars to you spend US American dollars to buy Lattice. So it's like, I want to say $10 for 1100 Lattice.
Hey Dreamer.
"Hey, Dreamer!" And then you can convert the lattice to units and use that to do things like, buy Jeff's costume. And then there is an earned currency that you can only get through doing missions, which I want to say is Chronovium, but I could have that wrong. Which so far I have not been able to buy. I think you have to have already bought Lattice and subscribed to the Battle Pass to then use your Chronovium to buy stuff in the Battle Pass. I believe that is how it works, but I'm not quite sure. This is an interesting one because other games tend to be a little freer with giving away cosmetics and skins, but like you had to buy Overwatch when it started. Like you had to buy Overwatch and it was $60 and then it had loot boxes and that was how you got skins, and you could earn loot boxes for free, but the likelihood of getting cool skins was very low. And the encouragement was that you would pay $10 to get a ton of loot boxes and open one and get the cool skin that you wanted. Here basically everything is behind a paywall in terms of cosmetics, but gameplay is totally free. You cannot buy anything that enhances your gameplay. You can't buy anything that levels you up. It's entirely free, so everybody's financially on an even playing field when it comes to access to play. But if you want to get this adorable Jeff skin, you're paying for this adorable Jeff skin. And if you want to use the battle pass, same thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's smart. I mean, this is, as Nico pointed out, like, if this is not a big success for Marvel, it is a failure. And I'm very excited about the numbers. But I do think that the numbers sort of have a lot to do with the fact that people want to see the Marvel thing. People want to see what Marvel's doing. And I'll be interested to see how much that carries through long term. And then I'll be interested to see how much people are willing to pay. I mean, I know back in the day I invested a thing or two to get my favorite Overwatch skins. I was, as soon as I opened the game and this was a skin, it was pretty high up on my list of wants. I then discovered that for some reason, while I was phenomenal with him in the beta, I am terrible with Jeff in the actual game now. So I've got to figure that out before I get into buying stuff for him.
Wild.
It's one of the things that I think is at the heart of the game industry at this point is the unique way that customization allows each one of us to interact with what we're looking for. You might be a beefcake guy, and then you're going to go through all of the Magneto skins. If you're a cheesecake person, you'll probably appreciate the dagger amongst others. But if you're just like, you might be like, and American, you might be a big fan of Jeff. And so the different ways that this customizes, it kind of reminds me, and I mentioned Rock Band earlier, but like the way that the thing that made rhythm games successful was that anybody could find something they wanted.
Yeah.
Games pointless by making it anything you wanted. So I think that's even part of the problem. I could get anything on that. I'll pick it up another time. There's no rush to buy anything. And so I think the fact that these games have made so many of these skins limited edition, buy it when the game comes out or you'll never get that skin. I know that I normally, hey Dreamer, we are definitely all on Blue Sky Nico action like anything. TK, what's your Blue Sky?
TK Elemental, Kevo, really, we're all our names.
The main thing for me with as dumb as it is, the match 3 game for DC that I play, Heroes and Villains, they did a summertime Superman I missed out on, so I made sure when they did the Christmas time Santa, I bought it immediately, because now all I can imagine is doing like Santa of the North Pole as like a Dom look with leather. And like, it's one of those things where, like, as silly as it sounds, this skin set my mind off. It made me think about so much more, the same way I had a similar reaction to the super cool skins in Midnight Suns, the Marvel game that came out, I think in 2022.
Yeah, as our wonderful Peak Jonah, currently incognito as Soul Sword X, said, part of business models for games like this is to create elements of FOMO so you feel compelled to buy something. Works on me. I am lucky right now, just specifically right in this moment, in that most of the popular characters for this game are not characters I'm going to play. I am almost entirely a support main. I will play a little bit of tank, or as they call them in this game, Vanguard, and I basically will never play a damage character because I don't like to play a character that can be killed easily. So like this gorgeous Namor skin can't work on me, won't be buying it, but I would have a lot of trouble if I was one of my favorites got a skin that I was absolutely obsessed with. I am unfortunately not super obsessed with this one Cloak and Dagger skin we got to start things off. It's pretty cool. It's just like, I don't have to do with anything. This is not like from a story. If they had given me Cloak and Dagger Blood Hunt or something, I didn't even like Blood Hunt, but I might have gone for it. But yeah, I mean, that Jeff skin is the biggest one, and unfortunately, I'm not playing a lot of Jeff now because I'm not very good at him. Mantis is the third in my ranking, and I don't super care about this Guardians of the Galaxy skin. So anyway, I'm just in a nice place right now to not spend money. I will say, in the Battle Pass, Mantis has this skin right here that I do think is kind of cool. So they could get me on the Battle Pass. But again, I just don't know, because most of this stuff is for damage characters, and spending, $10 to get a bunch of stuff for characters I don't play. I don't know, man.
And that's the crazy thing about it too. Like you said, you love the character of Jeff, you love the skins, but if like I am, as I always say, such a non-gamester, but one of the few games that I had was this like little Bejeweled style Doctor Who game, and it was the same thing. There were characters I loved, but their attacks were terrible, so I'm not going to use that character.
Yeah. And it's, again, we're like 48 hours in here. Like, if this game goes anywhere near the distance that Overwatch has gone, there will be skins, so many more characters introduced. Because the thing with Marvel is they don't have to do, I mean, of course they have to do character development, but like, everybody knows we want Deadpool. Everybody knows we want Jean Grey. The list of characters that I'm sure they had developed before the game even started so that they could roll them out as needed, is such that I do think that this is a game. This game launched with 33 characters. I wouldn't be surprised to see us in the 60s within 3 years.
I think that also kind of depends on the Marvel slate. I feel like this is going to be a great place to sort of chug in characters so they can stop doing it into Fortnite, even though now Disney owns like 10% of Fortnite.
Which is already factoring into this game because they have already done a collab, and I imagine we'll be doing a lot more. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's funny. To like make way for this game and to get my PC ready, I actually deleted my copy of Fortnite that was on that computer. And it's funny, I just not a game I could ever get into, even with the Marvel stuff. The last time I downloaded it was specifically because I was like, okay, there's so much Marvel stuff in this game, I need to get into it. And I still really couldn't, even though the gameplay is just not that different from a game like this. I think I'm gonna break into another match if everybody's cool with that.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what everybody's here for.
Does the game have music?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously, all games have music.
Yep, it's got music. I turn the music off because I'm an easily distracted boy, but it has actually
Same.
like surprisingly good music, for which they are releasing a vinyl soon that I did in fact pre-order.
That's right.
Because I just think owning a vinyl with Galacta on it will probably be a very funny thing to talk about when I'm in my 70s. This Japanese body pillow of a character was one time very important.
God bless.
So when you go in with Cloak and Dagger, you're in with Cloak and Dagger for the whole match?
I don't have to be. I could switch it up and be Mantis if I wanted to be.
Mid-match? Wow.
Yeah, whenever you respawn, you respawn back here, and you always have the chance to switch characters. You can't switch to anybody that somebody else is playing, but
Yeah. Okay, that
this
makes
is actually
sense.
good. I should play more Mantis because I don't play her enough. Mantis's playstyle is very different. Obviously, you can't become a whole ass other person. But with Dagger and Luna Snow heal very similarly in that they basically are throwing objects at their teammates and that heals them. With Mantis, you hit them one time and it continually heals your teammates for a few seconds to get them back up to health. So you can, as all of these guys are taking damage, you can hit them one at a time and just make sure everybody's good and healed. And then if you see in the middle of the screen, she has these little white leaves that are slowly filling up. She can also expend those to boost herself or her teammates and give them more damage. So anyway, I mean, like, she's just a very different character to play as. I have not attacked one. I haven't used my offensive powers once. I've just been healing people. Where, if I were playing Cloak and Dagger by now, I would have switched to Cloak specifically to hit somebody.
Right.
And so now we are in a kind of map where we have to hold the objective for the length of this circle that we're about to fill. And then here we go. We got to escort this spider vehicle from one end of the map to the other while the other team tries to stop us.
Are the levels based on any like Marvel locations, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, we have Asgard. This, I believe, is Tokyo 2099. The degree to which they are like comic book specific locations is a little nebulous. But they are, I think the first match we played was in Wakanda, and again, it's kind of like the game's version of Wakanda, but
right,
it's Wakanda.
Again, love those purples. Colors are great.
Yeah, the colors in the game are really fantastic.
So how do you feel about the smoothness of gameplay? Do you feel like the servers are able to handle everybody that signed on for the first weekend?
Their servers are fine. Nico, as you and I discussed, the game requirements are not quite what we thought they would be from the beta. Like, to the point, as I was saying to Nico, if I had realized it was going to be this intensive on my system, I probably would have saved up and bought a new graphics card before playing this game. My graphics card is a year old, and it is a pretty good one. That said, I did also discover that the monitor that I was using, which is a 70-inch TV, was not the best idea for doing this. So I am now I've moved my computer into my office, which has just, a regular person monitor, and that has changed things quite a bit.
Did the graphics look sick on that monitor at least?
They look good on the small one.
Okay.
They did not look bad. They did not look good on the living room TV, which was kind of the bummer of the century.
you know,
What?
I was going to say something about bootlegging. I'm actually going to keep that to myself and instead read Jonah's comment. Galacta is also the card for Marvel Snap to cross promote the game. This girl has 4 appearances, LMAO.
Yeah. I
she just-
don't really know what to do with Galacta. I very much appreciate that they were having some fun.
Is she from the comics at all, or is she just?
Yeah, she is. She is. She absolutely is from the comics. But like a really, when Nico gets back, he'll tell it like a really random, like one-off issue. She's not. She has had like 4 appearances. She's not a popular character. And I don't quite know why they thought she made sense as the mascot for this game, but I would love to hear more.
I mean, I'm guessing it's exactly what it appears. It's kind of funny that there's a hot Galactus. Hot female, excuse me, specifically. I don't mean to shame anyone who is into Galactus and or Vor. I was about to be like, I love this music. Well, of course I love this music. It's Nico Action.
The best music. The best music.
Where are we at? What did I miss?
What's up?
Where are we at? What did I miss?
We are very close to moving this spider buggy to the edge of the map. This is, of course, one of those things where the closer you get, the harder it gets for your team because the other team spawns so close to the edge of the map that we have to get to. So even if we do, a solid reduction of their numbers, they are much closer and can simply get back to this location where we have a lot further to go. So we still have almost 4 minutes. I really believe in us and our ability to move the spider buggy as needed, but this would not be the first time that did not work out for me and my team. And I just hit my ultimate and there we go.
Hey,
We did it. Go team.
And that meant Hella was the MVP of this round?
Hella was the MVP of this round. I barely saw Hella, which probably means that she was the MVP because she is a very stealthy character. Also, I just want to point out, I had actually not bad damage or healing numbers for the rest of, compared to the rest of the team. But I only did 700 damage because Mantis just for me is not really a character to even try and play around with damage. So,
right.
The rest of my team, the one person on my team did 10 times as much damage as I did. And that was Hella, who was MVP. But, I take being a support character very seriously, and I am okay not getting high kill numbers and high damage numbers if I keep everybody alive.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, as you go into your next game, what brings you to being a support character?
I really like holding people's life in my hands. I also, there's that aspect of things where I think there is something very controlling and there's something that keeps you very much in control about exactly that, about being the character that keeps everybody alive. I'm very bothered by playing characters that the idea is that you can die very easily. Scarlet Witch and Iron Fist are both damage characters. They don't have a ton of health. They have no way to heal themselves. They really rely on support characters. I don't want to play that, and I really the challenge for me is how do I keep those characters alive so that they can continue to do the damage that lets the team win? And that sort of strategy to me is very fun. But yeah, I also like, it's also one of those things where, you know, I was complaining online in the days leading up to this that, so they did the beta for the open beta for Rivals, or the, you know, application beta, and towards the middle of that, they announced Jeff as a support character, and then the beta ended, and they announced Steve Rogers and Bucky, and then they announced Moon Knight and Psylocke. They announced Hawkeye, Iron Fist, Black Widow, Logan, Squirrel Girl, all of whom were damage characters. So basically, since Jeff, they had not announced a single support character, and eventually they did announce Cloak and Dagger, which was nice and fine. But the thing that a lot of people were disappointed in that, or they were really surprised that it was just like a constant rollout of damage characters. And the thing that I was trying to point out is that that's what the majority of people are going to play by a large margin. Most people, their gameplay style is that they want to go in and kill as many other people as possible, and they want to run headfirst in and get those really high kill numbers and get into fights. And that's very cool. People who are good at that are awesome, and they're the best people to have on your team. Most people are actually not very good at that, and they become kind of a liability, and they become kind of difficult. And so one way to stay better at games like this and stay having people wanting you on their team is to be the thing that nobody wants to be, which is a support character. Even like, you know, because if people don't want to be a damage character, they usually want to be a tank. They want to be the big guy that can soak up a lot of damage and do a lot of damage. But most people do not want to be the person that heals. And so I have found that by doing that, it's that thing that Trixie Mattel talks about when it comes to learning the auto harp. Like, she's like, I'm the best drag queen auto harp player that anybody knows. And you know, I'm just trying to be the best queer main or support main, and I think I'm killing it.
I love
so what do you think? Want to do one more and then we'll kind of wrap for the evening?
I mean, you could do 10 more. Just go for it.
No, I like that. I'm excited. I'm enjoying it. I don't know if I would ever do it live first, but I feel like this is something I might even be like down to try. I like that it's a team thing. I like that it's not too much pressure on any one character.
And Kevo, you might like the arcade modes too. I'll next time I'll do one of those matches, because like the rules are different. They are 100% just for fun. They're not even a little bit competitive. I mean, like there's a team winner, but like nobody's trying to like start a competitive team deathmatch scene or anything like that. And so they're really fun modes to play.
Nice.
So what does it take to get you to experiment with a character that isn't support, or to get you to kind of bounce between the two?
Yeah.
So after support, I will play tank, because again, it's the same thing. Most people want to play damage. So if I'm not playing support, I'll play the other thing that most people don't want to play. And that way I know that role is always filled. But then after that, like at some point I want to sit for a while and play with, Iron Fist, because just of how much I love Iron Fist. Nico, you and I covered so much of that transition from Danny Rand to Lin Lie, and I really love that book. That was Alyssa Wong, and so like I'm very excited to play as that character, just because I really like that character. And then on a similar note, if it's like maybe even a character I don't love, but they have a really cool power set. Best example there for when I was playing the beta, Scarlet Witch has an offensive power that I really like. And it is that she drains her opponents. And the reason I was so excited about Cloak and Dagger is because Cloak has the same power, which hopefully I can show you in just a second. But yeah, here we go. So Cloak just goes up to his enemies and starts sucking the life out of them, which is the same thing that Scarlet Witch does. And it's just a power I really enjoy. So even though, during the beta, I was trying to just maximize the fun I was having with the game, I did play a bunch of Scarlet Witch because I just like doing that thing where I just hold my hand out and just slowly start draining the life out of people. So, little things like that will get me to play a character. There's a few like play styles and powers that, like I said, everybody's copying each other in these games. So I suspect there will be characters that have play styles similar to Overwatch characters that I've played in the past, where I want to see what it's like to play the Marvel character that has that ability. And in that case, if that character is not a support character, I'll still play them.
So for you, what are you looking for from an esport from this? Are you looking for something that's like fully leagued out, or are you looking for something that's a little bit more fandom communicative?
I would like to see, I love that you gave that as the spectrum because I want to fall right in the middle. And it actually kind of seems like that's what they're doing. They're doing this faction system. And it's funny, it's like in the next 13 hours, competitive is opening up. I would very much like to see Marvel creating an organic esport, platform and league, while also creating something that leaves room for people to play more casually. But still, to play at a like an intramural level, at like this is our, the thing I've always said is I want to start kind of a Northeast queer league of like older gamers, and all of whom are, I would imagine, people that don't have aspirations to play professional esports, which is not an industry in which you see a lot of people over the age of 30. But who are interested in, being part of a league that takes competition seriously. And I just got swallowed by Jeff, and he's going to throw me off the map. Oh no, I got revived by Rocket.
Huh.
I
Glorious.
can't find the comment, but earlier in the chat, SoulSwordX/Jonah had said that Snap also has Galactica, which is a really cool way to tie in the character.
Yeah.
The mobile side of Marvel is one of those things where when people are like, oh, the MCU has the theater dominance, but DC has all the animation. I feel like Marvel has all the mobile games, as much as I'm like, oh, Match 3, it's really fun. Be Christmas Superman. That's not really a game. But Snap is like one of the most successful games to ever be launched by a comic book company, let alone a secondary IP game. And I think that with Snap, Future Fight, Contest of Champions, and I know I'm at least forgetting one.
Puzzle Quest.
Puzzle Quest. Thank you.
Puzzle Quest is huge, right?
Yeah, it really is. For its 10th anniversary, I've been playing since 3. The third anniversary for Marvel Contest of Champions was one of those ones where they were like, oh, are you really playing? Here's unbelievable free things. Just sign up, God. And so I've been in since then. For the 10th anniversary, they've raised the level cap from 60 to 65. As somebody who has not been able to gain experience in 5-6 years, this is really exciting. So, plenty of stuff. All right, I'm just talking over your game. What's going on now?
No, we won. We're done. Penny Parker was our MVP. Also, was it you that pointed out to me that she's getting a Venom suit skin? Yeah. Anyway, I'm excited about that. Yeah, we won. You guys are my good luck charm. I have not lost a game since we started playing together. And so thank you, everybody.
Heck yeah.
Let's see how I did. Here's the thing, guys. You're my good luck charm, but I'm not doing my best numbers. I gotta work on that. Can't be losing to Ben Balchinian. That's just not acceptable behavior. I did have some good kills. I did have some good assists.
And your
it's
team's
also
numbers just ate the other team's numbers.
Yeah, I mean we do have good numbers. I like to, so when you heal the most in the game, you get this little plus here, and Rocket got it this time around, and he got most assists, and I like to get those. So we got to work on that. That's the goal for next match.
So talk to us about next match. You going into another match? How you feeling? What did you learn from these few games, and how do you feel about playing more?
I'm popping in for another match. The big thing I'm learning right now is how to play with somewhat divided attention. I am usually a solo gamer. I don't usually play on a team where we're mic'd or anything like that. I have done a couple teams where we are keyboard connected, so we'll type stuff, but I usually don't play on teams where we're coordinating via mic, and doing so does really require the ability to split your attention a little bit. So this is actually very good practice for that. But the other really big thing right now is when they launched the game for real, they launched a bunch of new maps. And the maps for these games are Byzantine. And so figuring out, how to get from the spawn points to wherever the action is actually takes repeated playings. And it's very funny because I play Overwatch, I play Paladins. I have learned that basically if you play, if you start getting into the dozens and hundreds of hours, you really will learn how to basically walk blindly to all of these places. But because this game is so new to me and some of the maps are so new to me, I am still not at that point. And sometimes I get very frustrated when I die and realize I have no idea how to get back to where I'm going. So each time I play, I learn a little bit more about how to, take care of myself on the map.
So who are your favorite characters to play against and to play alongside?
Oh, that is a fantastic question. To play against, in terms of, they're my favorite because I know I can beat them. All the other supports, basically. I really hate playing against Logan here because he is quite difficult. I also really like killing some of the tanks. So the big thing with Cloak is you have this power that I'm about to hit here that he just sent out, and I didn't work, but he can blind people for a second. He can dark force them, and when it happens to you, you just kind of lose all sight on the map. Just got killed by Jeff. So that is particularly fun to do to Venom. Because Venom is a very tough tank character, and when I can blind him and then kill him very quickly, it is a great sense of accomplishment. I really like playing alongside Jeff. My preference is to be on a team with 2 of each character. So 2 supports, 2 damages, and 2 tanks. A lot of times in this game, especially now, again, as I said, everybody wants to be damage. So especially in quick play where there are really no rules and you shouldn't take it too seriously, although I will fully admit I often do. I often am playing in matches where it is I'm playing with 5 damage characters, no tank, and I'm the only healer, which is unequivocally not my favorite thing. But I very much enjoy playing alongside a Magneto. I very much enjoy playing alongside a Scarlet Witch. I really like Punisher. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It has so much less to do with the characters and so much more to do with the player. People who know how to creatively use their preferred characters tool set are people that I'm probably inevitably going to enjoy playing with.
It's so funny hearing the name Scarlet Witch next to the Punisher still.
I know.
We really, really, really are, as we get closer to Secret Wars, getting closer to closing that loop. And really, this next saga of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that's really going to be a lot more normal.
Yeah. And it's funny, like this game, I've kind of wondered about this game maybe trying to call itself some kind of secret thing. This is essentially the plot of Secret Wars done slightly differently. But when the MCU does Secret War, I sort of wonder how a game like this will factor into the promotion, because it is doing such a similar storyline and showing you this kind of proof of concept of what it would look like if a bunch of random Marvel universes came together.
Right. We're not too far away.
I got killed. That's okay. Got killed by Hawkeye.
That's an embarrassment, but
it is kind of an embarrassment, yeah.
But I blame them. I blame Cloak and Dagger, not you.
Hawkeye's a very good character in this game. He intimidates me a lot. I've spent far too much time suddenly going from being alive and healthy to being perfectly dead, and it's because a Hawkeye has been in the mix.
That's so weird, because he gets so much flack still.
Just killed Logan, but then I got that. Oh, that wasn't as cool as I wanted it to be.
How do you feel about having to respawn so quickly one after another? I mean, it's something that even the best players will have to deal with due to respawn points and where characters camp out.
Yeah, I mean, for me, again, like this is quick play mode. Nothing should be taken too seriously. I take everything too seriously. I hate respawning, and I'm just sort of always trying to figure out how to do as little of it as possible, which is, the ideal for the game. You really want to be respawning as little as possible. And so I'm deeply motivated to figure out how to keep myself alive, how to keep my teammates alive. I absolutely get frustrated when I fail in that endeavor. But you are right insofar as it really kind of is the name of the game. Like you're gonna die. That's the whole point. And you have to not take it too seriously.
So as somebody who loves like Zelda and Splatoon and a ton of other games so much, what brings you to this game? What makes you want to play this?
You know what it is. It's Marvel characters. Because if it wasn't, you're 100% right. I would play Splatoon. Like the competitive shooter aspect of it, I can get from other games. I do love games like this where, while they are often called competitive shooters, of course, not everybody is actually shooting. You have characters like Logan who are entirely melee and who are coming after me right now to kill me. But I killed him, but then I got eaten by Jeff again. So much getting eaten by Jeff. But yeah, I mean, it is specifically that I want to play as Marvel characters because I have such a love for them and such an experience with them. Oh, we lost this one. Good luck, charm killed. It's specifically that I love Marvel characters. I'm also really interested to see how they're going to do each character that we get in this game. I was 100% certain when they announced the last few characters that Cloak and Dagger were not going to be a support character. And lo and behold, I was wrong. I was really certain that, I had a lot of ideas about who would be what. And so it's always interesting to see what they come up with. But then it's also really interesting to play around with those character sets.
Ooh,
all right,
pretty.
where are we headed next?
Yggdrasil.
Just playing another quick match. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's kind of at this time that's really all there is to do. Like I said, there's a little bit of some other modes, but they haven't dropped competitive yet or anything like that. And I'm honestly, somebody already has Cloak and Dagger. That's fascinating. Okay, Mantis, it is. So how about you two? What are your initial reactions after seeing this?
Beautiful art. Interesting gameplay.
What about you, Nico?
I mean, I've been in on Rivals for I don't know, like 5-6 months at this point. I feel like one of the things that I'm the most surprised by is the broad but limited character range. I feel like they're pulling from very major properties, even when they're pulling somebody unusual, like Penny. It's still going to be somebody who is a Spider-Man or a Venom. So I feel like what's exciting about this game is also what's kind of pedestrian about it. They just found ways to make pedestrian exciting.
Yeah, I mean, that's 100% true. They absolutely did not reinvent the wheel with this game. And that's not always an insult, and that's not really an insult here. It's their hype team is, of course, and of course they have to, but they're saying, this is nothing like Overwatch. We did everything so differently. And that just really isn't the case. But Overwatch was like a bunch of other games. Overwatch was like Team Fortress.
Yeah.
It's pretty difficult to create an entirely new property or an entirely new gameplay experience.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's nothing to be ashamed of when it comes to, just taking the characters that you have and recreating a gameplay experience that people like.
And you understand why they have to talk about these things the way that they do.
Yeah, of course.
It just gets tedious sometimes.
Yeah.
Like tangentially, I was reading, of all things, the people at Shondaland or someone from it made some post being like, "Oh, good job, Jonathan Bailey. We knew you when." And fans are like, "You guys paid him crap." And it's like, sure, but they'd be more remiss not to say something, not to congratulate. And it's just, even when it's performative, we all know it's performative. We either have to all buy into this experience or not.
Exactly.
So, TK, how much do you see yourself playing this game? Do you see this being a daily game for you? Do you see this being a weekend adventure for you? Do you see this being the way you blow off steam on a Wednesday?
This is going to be a pretty big game for me. I imagine I'm going to be playing many hours of this. I love a competitive game like this. And a while back there was just a lot about Overwatch that just kind of started turning me off and making it really unenjoyable. And some of that was even like personal stuff that I won't get into on the show. But this is the type of gameplay that I really like. And this, I think it's tough because I played Overwatch on 3 systems, but I think I had over 1,000 hours in Overwatch. I know I had over 1,000 hours in Paladins. Combined between the 2 Splatoon games, I have over 1,000 hours. So like I said, I really like this gameplay style. I really appreciate that these games are free to play. And I have a deep interest in competitive esports, and I see this having a ton of potential to be a platform for a really competitive league. And I'm hoping that's where Marvel is going with it. And I want to kind of be on the forefront of knowing the gameplay so that I can participate in viewing the very active professional play of it. So, I think ultimately this is one that's going to have a lot of my time. But, it's also one of those things where sometimes life just stops you from enjoying a game as much as you want to. So hopefully I will be playing a lot of it, but there's no guarantees in life.
Well, one thing I can say for sure is that if you want to check out seeing TK play this game all over Twitch, you guys can check it out here on X's for Show, where he will be playing a ton of it if I have anything to say about it. So TK, talk to me. How do you feel about streaming kind of like secretly as our personal league?
I'm excited. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. I kept meaning to kind of do it on my own with Splatoon, and I just never really, first I didn't have the equipment, and then I never got around to it. Oh, hey, I was I was the most valuable player on the losing team. So there you go.
Okay.
I think that's a perfect place to cap this off for the day. So yeah, I don't know. I'm super stoked. Like I said, I love this gameplay. I love this IP. I think it's a match made in heaven. I think there's a lot of people who are going to be really excited about this game. I think it's going to change a lot and improve a lot. And yeah, I'm just excited to play around with it for a while.
Nice. I'm excited to see what we do with it.
Yeah.
So, are you gonna go in for another game? What are you doing?
No, I think we're gonna call it for tonight. We had a nice hour and 15 minutes.
Well, but do you want to just keep playing on Twitch?
Maybe. I think tonight I will probably not, but I'm gonna look at my schedule and find another time to log back on and get things going.
Sounds great. So, Kevo, let's get a sign off from you. And what was your favorite part about watching tonight?
I really enjoyed learning about the gameplay. Like I said, we've been talking about starting these game streams for a while, and I'm glad that we're getting started. Maybe I'll even get my hands dirty at some point. Who knows? And if you'd like me to, let me know by hitting me up on the social media at Kevo Really. That's KevoReally.
I just want to say that as somebody who loves the sound of your voice, the fact that you had so much voice tonight on air is
it's all coming back to us now.
It is so great to hear you. You guys can check me out at Nico Action, NicoAction. Captain, tell us, where can everybody find you on Twitch? Who is your favorite character to play as? What is your favorite whatever? And sign us off.
You can find me at TK Elemental. You guys know it's Cloak and Dagger. That's my favorite character. I'm going to be getting a lot of mileage out of them, but got to practice my Mantis, and I got to take another crack at Jeff and try and figure it out, because Jeff and I were best friends a couple months ago, and I don't want to let that go. He's too cute not to. So find me on all the socials and let's talk about this game. Come look, I've got all these spots right here. Come fill up these spots and come play. And yeah.
If you guys want to check out the show, you can check it out at HTML, X is for podcast, and X is for show. And 3 things you guys can do for us: like, comment, and subscribe on all of your favorite social media. And 3 things you guys can do for us: number 1, be brave; number 2, stay safe; and number 3, evolve daily. Who you were yesterday, amazing. Who you are today, incredible. But who you are tomorrow, we can't wait. So until then, keep playing Rivals, and we'll see you.